Hi guys, so today I've got Sam with me. Sam is a local business owner, and actually this is the first time I've ever met Sam. She is in the legal services department and runs her own will writing service as well. So Sam, how are we doing today?
Yeah, we're doing all right. We're trying to juggle work with the kids
Okay.
and my husband, who also has work to do at home. So I guess much like everyone else in this situation, just trying to keep a lot of balls in the air.
Yeah, I can imagine it's very difficult. So how are you adapting right now? So what are you finding that you can and can't do? Because I suppose it's very sensitive nature what you do. How does that kind of with doing it online?
Yeah, sure. Well, normally I do visit my clients in their own homes to prepare wills, and obviously it is something, as you say, that's very sensitive and personal to people. And I think they like the fact that I can visit them in their own homes where they already feel comfortable, rather than in a kind of stuffy office where they're feeling on edge. They can, if they want, they can have their pajamas on, have a cup of tea, and they can feel relaxed while they're having those conversations. Obviously, we can't do that now with current restrictions. So instead, I'm carrying out all my consultations online, so mostly via Zoom, but also I can do Skype or FaceTime or whatever people are familiar with. And I think initially people were quite reticent about doing that, but now that this is the norm, I think most people are now doing online things for virtually everything every day anyway. I'm actually finding most evenings now I've got a client booked in and we're doing our consultations this way. And actually I haven't done that many online consultations before, though I've always been able to offer it. But now without any other option, it suits me, suits my clients. Most of them have got kids, so we do it in the evening when my kids are in bed, their kids are in bed, and they can relax and have those conversations. If the kids are still up, that's fine too. They can be in the room because, they're still in their own home. I'm in my home, and it's all very casual and very relaxed. The
Nice.
challenge for me is doing the actual work after that. It's sitting down when I normally have 4 days a week at home, where I'm sitting down at my computer, drafting those documents, answering inquiries. I've got 2 little people now who I've got to work around, and my husband. So that is the challenge for me at the moment, is trying to block out time in the day where I can get the work done for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can imagine that is. I mean, you were saying earlier you got two young children. That I can imagine with the nature of what you do and how you can't get it wrong. With what I do, I'm just a gym owner that does a few personal training sessions online, and we're doing loads of free classes at the moment. Where if I get something wrong, it doesn't matter. Okay, people probably laugh about it. If I was to trip over on Zoom, no worries. If I say the wrong exercise, not a problem. If you get something wrong, then that's a serious problem, isn't it? And
yeah, I need
there's
to
no room for
concentrate.
mistakes.
Yeah, to be fair. So I'm finding actually what I've had to start to do is to get up early in the morning before my husband has to start. He has to start work at 9 because works in a big company. There's lots of people and they need him logging on at 9 o'clock because they're having conversations and there's deadlines and things. And because I work for myself, obviously I'm the more adaptable one. I need to work around him. So I'm now waking up early so I can do some work while the kids are still in bed or maybe playing, and before he has to start work. That's what I'm having to do, and then obviously work later at night as well when he's having lunch breaks, or just finding ways for that to fit in. It's you got to think outside the box, haven't you? There's no way I can sit and do important legal drafting work while I've got my 2 kids hanging on my arm asking me for lunch or asking me to put something on Disney Plus or something. It's just not happening.
No.
So yeah, it's picking your moments, isn't it?
Definitely. I'm with you, especially on that side of things when it comes to getting up early. I'm not too early at the moment. I'm getting up around about 6 in the morning, getting some bits done, getting my emailing done, and
Early enough.
Yeah, it's early enough. But then I'm also finding on the flip side, because I want to have a relationship with my family and my wife, I'm then having to do later at night. So I've got the worst of both ends of the time spectrum, if you like. Early in the morning, late at night. Yeah. I think afternoon naps have to be. I think like a family afternoon nap needs to be brought in, a siesta of some description, but we haven't managed to make that work yet.
I'm still trying to force my 2-year-old to have that. She's starting to resist it, but I'm still putting her upstairs, even if she cries for a bit, because I just think we all need that time out, to be honest.
Oh,
And
God,
nothing gets done while she's around. Yeah.
God, yeah. We kind of have. My two seem to play quite quietly around about 2 to 3 o'clock. They grab a bit of Disney Plus time, and that's kind of been put in the place of a nap, because they are completely quiet for about 45 minutes, which has been a godsend.
That's gold, isn't it?
Oh, don't. I mean, this is, if I'll show you around, this is my man cave, my home office. So
How nice.
I am blessed. I can actually come away. I can lock the double doors there. I've got a kitchen and a toilet and a shower there, and then I've got my gym there, and then a middle kind of entertainment space, if you like. Which, I am truly blessed to have that. But I can imagine most people don't have that, and it's a hard situation to be in a.
That's what
house.
I miss most, is my personal space, because my oldest is in school, my youngest is in nursery 4 days a week, and during school hours, my home is my sanctuary. I sit there, I have my quiet, I work, I work out, I do what I need to in my space.
Yeah.
But then obviously my space is now invaded by 3 other people all the time, lots of noise, lots of quiet. There's nowhere I can kind of go and even be on my own. That was the biggest challenge, I think, the first couple of weeks, was just adjusting to the fact that I've got no personal space. And I'm in that category of people that has to socially isolate. So I can't even leave the house to go for a walk. I'm stuck in my house now. Thank goodness I've got a garden, but still I'm not on my own. So I think once you get past the whole, I've got no personal space anymore, and it's just adjusting to actually trying to get stuff done. I think it's just become the new normal now. It's like, I think who would have thought we'd have to adjust to something like this, literally living with our families, like literally 24/7 without a break. No one would have ever seen it, but we've had to adapt to it, I guess, because that's the only choice we've got. And it's going to make or break some relationships. It's making me realise, actually, that I'm very grateful to have my husband, because if he wasn't around, I don't know how I'd get anything done. And thank God I do have another person. So I'm really feeling for the single parents right now. It must be absolute hell for them. No time off.
No, I'm in the same boat. I am so happy I've got my wife around, especially when it comes to like the homeschooling as well. I'm too much like a big kid who gets in the way, and I'm good for all the fun stuff, the PE. I'm okay at like history and stuff, or sometimes I get them in and I show them what I'm up to, and they get a little bit interested in that. But the bare bones of the academic stuff that they're learning, which has been sent through, I can't teach it. I've got so much respect for teachers, but I can't teach it. I just don't seem to be able to do it. They don't take me seriously. With that
as well, to be honest. We've now been set stuff from school this week, and the math stuff just fills me with dread. Like, it's year 2, it's fractions, and my husband's brilliant at explaining that. It's just not my thing. So I'm letting him mostly take care of that. But to be honest, there's the online stuff. She just gets on with it. She loves it. So there's this times table program the school set us up with, and she goes on it every morning and does like daily challenges. It's taught her times tables. We couldn't teach her. She wasn't getting it, but now she's got this program she can go on to. She gets it. So I think the more they can do, I know you feel like you need to be sit with them, but actually when it's stuff that's electronic, they seem to get it better. Well, my daughter does anyway. She prefers it. So it's win-win then, because she sat quietly doing it, very pleased with herself, and we can get on with some work. So that might be the answer. Online learning.
No, well, I mean, that's a perfect scenario, really. I mean, to have something that can occupy everyone. Moving forward, though, I mean, do you see that there's a lot of stuff that's kind of blocking our way, a lot of barriers at the moment. However, I can't help but think that there is a certain level of opportunity for people that can think outside the box and can embrace what's going on right now and the new way that we're communicating. Do you see anything in your field which could then potentially stay as an online service moving forward?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I agree with you 100%. I'm seeing so many like friends who have businesses that have never been online, suddenly going online and facing the fear. They've always thought, oh, I could, but I don't really want to, or they don't have the time. Friends who are, doing like their Pilates classes online and dance classes online and offering, other kind of services online that they've never done before. I have always been able to do these consultations online, but it's something I've never pushed because it's it's something I've always felt I like to do it face to face. I like to do it in person. People like that. The only time I've generally offered it is when people are kind of outside of the area that I will travel. I don't really travel more than maybe about half an hour outside of the area where I live. So if people are further afield, I will offer them an online consultation. Sometimes if they want to work with me particularly, they will. Other times they say, I'd rather do it face to face. It's quite personal. So I've learned to adapt to it, and I've not been that experienced in it. So I've learned it's normal for me now to do online consultations. And I guess my clients now, who before may have said, no, I'd rather do it in person, maybe they will now be more open and more comfortable to doing these consultations online in the future, because it's been suggested to me that actually it's probably a more efficient use of my time, because the time I spend traveling to an appointment, and I mostly work evenings, so I'm traveling to an appointment, then I'm spending maybe up to 2 hours with a client, and then traveling home. I sometimes don't get home till about 11 o'clock of an evening. So actually being able to do an online consultation of, the same time, I'm taking out all that traveling time and getting ready time, and I could maybe even fit in 2 consultations in an evening that way. So I am looking at moving forward. Maybe it's just something that I push a lot more and suggest it at an earlier stage, rather than, I'll do it only if people can't do home consultations. So I think a lot more people will be doing stuff online now than they've done before.
One of the things I've learned through this time at the moment as well is to get my automation levels up, to because I've had more time to work on like email series and follow up, but to what is the term I'm looking for? To not predetermine, but to kind of use a qualifying method before I contact people. So normally people won't do this. People won't fill out like a form, or they won't fill out anything about themselves before getting in contact, because they just want the information. And I don't know whether you use any kind of online social media advertising, but most people just get in contact with you because they just want price. They haven't got time to mess around. It's how much, and you can't ever put your value in front of these people, and because of that, you end up wasting a lot of time with poor leads, as it were. However, I'm finding that people have got the time now, if they really want something, to fill out things like forms or answer questions from pre-written emails. And I'm now pre-qualifying before wasting my time with a lot of stuff. And I think people are going to start accepting that as the norm moving forward.
Yeah. People aren't as busy rushing around as much, and that's what I'm not missing. Is just I always feel like, actually thinking about it now, I'm always in a state where I'm just rushing to the next thing and not really necessarily present in what I'm doing. I'm thinking, how long have I got until? So I'm like, how long have I got until the school run? Then how long have I got until my next appointment? How long have I got until I need to pop out to go to the post office or go to the shops? Or how long then till I need to pick the kids up from school, take them to their activity, pick them up from their activity, get dinner ready, go out to see another client. It's always rushing about. And actually this kind of stillness, being forced not to go anywhere, means your brain is so much freer to, like you say, to actually think about those things, do more research into things that normally you'd think, oh, you know what, I've not got the time for this, forget it. People are now actually saying, well, I do have the time. We're making healthier choices with our food, because we're not just grabbing convenience food. We're cooking every night. We're buying fresh meat from locally sourced places. We're buying fresh fish from locally sourced places, because we're not going to the supermarket because it's booked up till the end of time. So actually we're going to probably better places and getting fresh ingredients and actually looking after ourselves. We're taking time. Me and my husband are both doing PT sessions. We're both doing online fitness classes, and maybe in the week we wouldn't normally fit those things in. We'd think, oh, I haven't got time. Now we're doing those things.
Making priority, right?
Right priorities. And the trick, I think, is going to be, when life does go back to normal, she doesn't feel it is, but it will eventually, I actually want to keep some of those changes I've made and think, okay, I'm enjoying those exercises and I'm doing every day. I'm enjoying cooking from scratch with healthy ingredients. How can I keep that when life gets busy again, and not kind of push it to the back burner and go, oh, I don't have time.
I think definitely the online consultation will definitely help you gain more time. And potentially even some of the pre-qualifying stuff that I can always go through with you, but you're probably already doing it anyway. What would you say? I mean, we're going to start venturing towards the closing part of this interview. And you've given me quite a lot of take homes, to be honest, especially with prioritizing your time. I'm loving the fact that, you're working. You said that the way that you're working, the dynamic is more of a team when it comes to you and your husband, which I think is amazing. And I think, would you say that's down to a lot of communication as well?
I think it has to be. The first couple of weeks, I wasn't actually that busy with my work. I think people a lot of the time were just, everyone was in panic mode a little bit, and they were just trying to figure out what they were going to do. So my work went a bit quiet. So he was working and I was with the kids. Then after that, my work got busy again. So we had to sit down and say, okay, how's this going to work? Because I've got a business to run. You've got an employee that expects you to do certain things. It can't just be you working all the time and me not working, because it's going to come to the end of the month and I need to give you money for the bills, and that needs to be there. So how are we going to so we had to sit down and have those conversations about what he could be flexible on and what I could be flexible on when we were going to make time for the kids and how that was going to work. And I think without that, it would just be, I don't know, we'd probably be shouting and screaming at each other and nothing would be getting done. But
Yeah.
I think you just have to. This is the situation we're in. How are we gonna survive it, really? And surviving is now turned into, we're not just surviving it, but we're actually making the best out of it, and we're seeing the positives. And actually, I think we barely see each other normally in the week. And actually, I'm quite enjoying the fact that we are a team, because otherwise we're almost like passing ships, I think, my husband and I. A lot of people are, I think.
Yeah. I mean, during the week, we're kind of similar. I am lucky that I can kind of dictate my hours to a certain degree. But I think one of the hardest things about being your own boss is that you are your own boss. And that can go one of three ways, really. The first way is that you do relatively little and you go out of business. The other way, which is more like me, you always feel like you need a certain level of control, and you end up doing 14-hour days because you're a kiddie in a candy shop. And with what I do, I love my work, so I'm always at work. Then you've got the balance, which I'm trying to move towards, which hopefully sounds like where you're going to end up getting to by using some of these new tactics. And that's to find your perfect balance. Now, it's never going to be there all the time, is it? But once we do find an element of balance that we are happy with, I think that all relationships get stronger from that point. And I can definitely resonate with the fact that being around my family more, and definitely being around my wife a lot more at the moment, is having a massive positive effect on me. Hugely. I don't know if it's the other way because I'm nuts, but
no, I agree with you. I think, like I said, it's so hard. It's just the way life is, that we barely see each other. It seems like he's out first thing in the morning and he doesn't get in till 7 at night, just in time to kiss the kids, and often I'm then going out to work. So we don't actually, this renewed time together, I know people say it's either going to cause divorces or the opposite, but in our case, I think it has brought us closer, because we are, like you say, we're a team. We're doing things together. We're looking after the kids. We're planning meals together. We're working out together, and that's bonding us more as a couple. And it makes me feel sad that we must have lost some of that in just how life goes. And I'm just going to enjoy the fact that while we're in this weird, strange situation with lots and lots of negatives, that is a positive I'm taking out of that, is we're having a lot of quality time in our relationship that we wouldn't normally have. And maybe we need to make that more of a priority coming out of this.
Definitely. Well, you know what? I think as coming up to closing statements now, I think that take home is one of the most poignant, but more importantly, is something that I'm hearing over and over that comes up when people are working as a team. When families are working and they're communicating a lot more, it's something I'm hearing more and more of. And there's very little negativity when it comes to being locked in with their family when they start looking at the situation the way that you've just described. So what I like to do, like I say, my mission at the moment is to get as much advice as possible. So you probably know what's coming. I'm gonna waffle on because I always let people have a little quick think before they answer. But the question is for business owners, okay, and parents. Okay, so have a little think about 2 bits of advice. What could you advise business owners to do with themselves at the moment. Okay, so it could be any little pearl of knowledge that's helped you. Imagine you're giving yourself the advice, and then the same again for parents out there as well. Okay, so have a little think about that,
Okay.
and then we'll crack back on. So, what have you got for us?
Oh, okay. Sorry, it's got my husband shutting the door, I think, because the kids are being noisy. Business owners, I think that, you know, if you're in an industry like me where you can carry on working and you can find a way to still provide a service for people, then it's, you know, then do that. You've got a responsibility to do that. I think a lot of people that I know, especially in product businesses right now, are saying, oh, I don't think I should be trying to sell people things. It feels a bit pushy. It feels like people don't want to hear that right now. People don't have money. It just feels a bit unnecessary. It's actually, you know, even if you can't sell anything, maybe still get out there and offer support in some way, because everyone's got something to offer. You know, or I can't sell my beauty products right now. People don't have money. No, people are maybe stuck at home and they're feeling like they can't look after themselves. Maybe your beauty product is exactly what they need to make themselves feel better. So there's still a way you can help people. Just maybe spin it on its head and think, it does, instead of thinking I shouldn't be pushing my services on someone when they can't afford it, think, what can you offer that might be helping someone out right now, and think of a way you can offer it in a, you know, in a helpful way, that you'll just, you know, mentally think you're actually maybe helping someone, providing a service that's going to make people feel good right now. And if what you're doing really isn't relevant, maybe think of another way that you can be providing a service. Some people have had to shut their businesses down, they can't operate, but is there something else you can be doing to make yourself feel helpful? Or maybe behind the scenes start planning future things. I know people that are taking the time to do training courses on how to use Instagram, and they're getting up on social media. They're doing a lot more than they usually do, lives, talking to their clients, talking to their audiences. So giving advice so that when the lockdown is over, the clients will have them in mind because they've been there chatting and, you know, giving helpful services to people.
Wonderful. I love that. Yeah, got a lot of time for that, especially when it comes to just find a way to offer reassurance to your clientele, to find a way to just put something back, because everyone's going through a rough time at the moment. And to be honest, you know, I think that can bridge the gap through both answers, to be honest, especially with like parents out there, help other parents out. Give a little bit
People
away.
are putting so much pressure on themselves right now that they have to homeschool, I think, and none of us are trained, well, some people are, but most of us aren't trained teachers. It's not our skill set. We didn't choose to homeschool for a reason, and even if we can do that, a lot of us still have businesses to run. So someone said to me, do you know what, it's a couple of months, everyone is at the same, it's not like your child's going to be behind, they're all at the same point, they're all in the same boat, and actually it's more important your child comes out of it mentally healthy, rather than just, you know, having your stress that you can't teach them. They're going to pick up on that. So if you can do one little thing every day, great. If they can just be enjoying time outside, playing, you know, learning, they can even learn stuff from just watching TV, depending on what programs they see. If they can come out of this happy and healthy, and all of you like bonded as a family unit, that's the priority. And if they don't invest in their maths, you know, so what? It's like a couple of months, it's not a couple of years, hopefully. So yeah, we'll all be all right. Take the pressure off.
I think online tutors are missing a trick, because I've seen next to no advertising for that at the moment. So if you're a tutor out there, start doing it online, because I'll pay you. But no, thank you so much for today. I love that as well. Take the pressure off. And in closing, you would have seen me looking to one side with a pen in my hand. I always take notes throughout these as well, when I find something that really could help other people. I think one of the things that you said here is finding that extra hour in the day. So either getting up early or working late. I prefer the getting up early and trying to use the hour that other people can't find. So, you know, get your day started whilst everyone else is in bed. I love the fact that you're communicating so much as well within the household, just to make things work. And yet, that final thing you said, take the pressure off yourself. You know, relax a bit, because A, you're never going to get time again, and B, this isn't our skill set, and you know, we're doing the best we can, and no kids are going to be behind because we're all at the same point. So look, thank you so much today. Look, in the show notes below, so either if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're listening to this on the podcast, we're going to put all of Sam's information of how to get in contact. I actually do need a will written. It was part of one of my last mortgage agreements. I need to have a new updated one done, so I will be in touch about that. All of Sam's information will be popped in the show notes below, so if you want to get in contact, if you want some advice, Sam will be available for that as well. Also, if this podcast or YouTube video has resonated with you, if you do feel like this has helped you in any shape, way, or form, please press that share button. And as well, if you would like to have a chat with me yourself, please comment below or get in contact via our channel. Thanks again for watching, guys. Don't go anywhere. Sam will carry on chatting, but for you guys, I'm going to press stop. Thanks again.